Hey, everybody. I have Annelise here. I'm super excited about today's interview. Annelise is one of my newest Empower clients. She is taking action and getting results, and I'm so thrilled about that. I love whenever my coaching clients actually take action on what I teach them. So today I'm just going to interview her so y'all can hear a little bit about her experience, maybe learn from her. And yeah, this is going to be a great time. So, Annelise, I'm going to give it to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a 38-year-old mom. I have four kids. They range from 12 to 5. I have three boys and a little girl. Um, I've always been a stay-at-home mom, but I've had this like crazy entrepreneurial bug inside of me since I was like as long as I can remember. I'm from Colorado and I'm a huge Denver Nuggets basketball fan. And besides watching the Nuggets, my favorite thing to do is watch my kids play their sports. So that's
Gotcha. We have
pretty
a
much
lot
what
in
we do.
common there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, 38, I have two kids, but sports, I'm a big sports person.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So you're a stay-at-home mom, but you have the entrepreneur bug. So what kind of inspired you to go down the make money online route or the affiliate marketing? Like what led you there?
Yeah, so um the biggest thing for me was like I was always a scroller, right, on Instagram, and I would watch these moms that look just like me or whatever, and I'm like, they are making money doing this. Like, what am I doing just sitting here scrolling? And so it's kind of funny because my husband like we win trips every couple of years through his work. And we were sitting on the beach in Hawaii. And I remember I was scrolling and I was like, people freaking make money on Amazon. And people make money on the internet. And I'm going to figure it out. I'm like, you just watch me. And he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so we came home from Hawaii, and that was like the end of the beginning. So I just what got tired. I got tired of watching other people do it when I knew like there had to be a way that I could do it too.
I love that. I've never really heard you say that. Like there was a light bulb moment for you though. That's
Yeah.
so awesome. And I do think it's that way for a lot of people. Like I remember the moment that I was like, okay, this is real. This is not a scam. And if other normal people can do it just like you, then I can do it too. Like what am I doing? Working my job, crying over the budget, arguing with my husband whenever I could do this instead. So I love that. I did not know that about you. So,
Yeah.
and really we're new to each other. I got to know you whenever you signed up for my first affiliate marketing boot camp, which was in January of 2025.
Mhm.
How did you find out about the boot camp?
Yeah, so I was scrolling Instagram. So a little back history. I run an Amazon business right now, but my greatest goal in all of this is to learn how to teach people how to make money. Because I give loans to a lot of my single mom friends, and I don't want, I gave this really large loan to my friend recently, and I'm so happy to do that. But what broke my heart more was like, that she doesn't know how to get that money herself. And so, more than wanting to give a loan, I want to give her the skills to be able to pay that herself. And so, I was scrolling, and I saw this mom that like is my same religion, and I just kind of like was like, okay, if she could, like, what is she doing, right? Because I knew that Amazon wasn't something I could teach, and so I followed her links, her lead magnets, and it sent me to the legendary 5 day marketing boot camp. And I took that and I learned so much, but I knew that I didn't want to join their bigger program, their more in-depth program, because I was going to be a little fish in a big sea again. And I didn't want that. I've done that. And I knew the missing piece to my story was a mentor that like actually knew my name, that actually wanted success for me. Um, And so through Legendary, somebody had recommended you, like and they said, go watch her podcast through Legendary Marketing. And so as I'm driving my kids around, at 1:45 every day, my day starts for sports until about 9 p.m. So I was like, I can do podcasts in the car. So I listened to your podcast and within the first probably 20 minutes, I was like, oh my gosh, she is my spirit animal. And I need her to be my mentor. And so then I just stalked you on Facebook. I was like, who is this? Like, how do I get a hold of her? And I'm pretty sure I just messaged you and you said, I have this boot camp I'm doing. I'd love for you to hop in. And I literally needed no convincing. It was just like, absolutely, tell me what to do. I'm there. And that was that.
I love that. I want to share something because this came to my mind whenever you were saying that about your friend, right? And I have a heart for helping people as well. And that's my why, my big why statement that I've been working on. I'm not doing this all for me. I'm
Right.
doing this because I want to show other moms that they can work and make a living because I've never minded that I've had to work. I like that I know how to make money. I didn't like that I had to work full time and miss everything and be exhausted to do it. And so that's my why. But something that I heard that always comes back to me is people benefit more when you give them a hand up, not a handout.
Yes.
So, and I come across this a lot whenever, because people really, Annalise, are not afraid to ask me things. Like people will have straight up asked me before if I would build a funnel for them for free. Like, don't even know them. They'll send me a message and they're like, hey, would you mind to just do this for me and then I'll be fine? And I'm like, wow. But and obviously, I say no because that's not really helping them. They don't need a handout from me. They need a hand up. They need me to show them how to do it so then they can go show their people how to do it. And so, and then it's a ripple effect. So
Yes.
I just love what you said there. Like, you want to help people and you didn't mind giving her money. And I think that's amazing that you did that. But what you really want to do is show her, hey, friend, listen, you can do this and make more money than that and not have to ask me for it next time because she's your friend. I'm sure she didn't love having to ask you for that money,
I did
but
not.
that was so great. And then I love your story about stalking me on Facebook. That's hilarious. Whenever I did that boot camp, it was not something I really wanted to do. It was at the end of January, and I was like, this is a lot of time from me. It is a lot of my time. And for those of you watching right now, I just announced my next boot camp is going to start next week, March 24th. It's going to be bigger and better because I've learned. And it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time for me because I'm going to be coaching people for free. So, but what that does and what I think it did for you is it lets you see that I'm real. Like,
Mhm.
and I really am invested. I really want you to understand. I'm not giving you some generic off the shelf advice. Like, I'm invested in you. So, I love that. I love that. So, during the boot camp, what
Mhm.
was your like, or really any time, really? This can relate to anything, but what has been your biggest aha moment through your whole journey? Like even starting with Legendary and then finding me and then the boot camp and then eventually becoming one of my Empower coaching clients. Like what is your moment?
Um, so I think I've had a few, but I think the biggest one for me, um, was your lesson on niche and avatar. So I've never really struggled with mindset. That's always been something that I've been like very good at. Um, and then I think it was your comment of like, you don't need to talk to the masses, you need to talk to one person. And then I remember I was listening to I was going through Empower and I was doing that lesson and I went into ChatGPT before I even saw that you were giving a prompt help for ChatGPT. I like made my own. I'm like kind of a balls to the walls person. I'm like, oh, you tell me to go do that. I'm gonna go do it if even if I do it wrong. Um, so I gave it a prompt and this whole thing came out on this one person and I was like, I am a freaking genius. Like I am like, why did I not think of this before in all of my endeavors that I only need to talk to one person?
Mhm.
Like there are 8 billion people going on these social media platforms and I don't need to talk to all of them. I do not care if they all like me or want what I have, like, but I do care if the one, right? If my friend can take my advice and then do something with it. And that lesson, once I got to your prompt, like once I was patient enough to get to the bottom and I redid it, it was even better. And I was like, holy crap. I remember telling my husband, and I have a husband who's not he's not supportive of me doing my stuff, but he's not definitely not involved at all. He like could care less about all of it. But I was like, babe, a genius. Like I have got this figured out. And like one day you are gonna be like, girl, you are so good at this, right? I just was like floating on cloud nine. And I really think that lesson was like the moment for me that was like, this is how you make it work.
Mhm. It's when you say that, I'm not sure if I've ever told you this before, but I started just a coaching group before I created Empower. And there were like over 100 people in that coaching group. And I quickly realized, actually within like 3 months' time, that I wasn't going to be a very effective coach until I created Empower. So I could take people I needed them to know certain things before I could even coach them.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I found in people, even people who had taken more training than me, was that they didn't really know who they were talking to, who they were trying to help, and really they didn't even know why they were trying to promote what they were going to promote. They just wanted to make money. And so they were doing what everybody else did. And then they were wondering why it didn't work for them. And it's like, well, it's because you've got to know that there's a lot to that, because you're in Empower, but what everybody else is doing might not be what you need to be doing. And
Mhm.
so I love that you just said that, because the niche and avatar section is a part that is so important. And I really pour my heart and soul into that. And I even go back to sometimes I have to remember I'm not talking to everybody. As much as I'd love to help, everybody, I want to help this one person. And it really helps you get crystal clear on your goals. So
Yeah.
that's so good. I'm actually like, I've never asked you these questions before. So everybody watching, like, I'm just as surprised as y'all are when I get these answers. So I kind of love it. Um, so there's questions about the boot camp and, but immediately, so you did the boot camp, you joined Empower. I think you joined Empower before the boot camp was even over, actually. I think you joined Empower before it was over.
It was the day that you told us about Empower.
Okay. Oh, the Thursday.
So actually that's kind of a good story too. So because
Yeah.
my husband had actually I talked to him about the legendary um more like their Empower kind of thing. And my husband was like, I'm not giving you that money, Annalise. Like I'm not investing that much money again. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna go figure it out for free then. Like I'm gonna figure this out and I'll just do what I can. And when I told him about you, it had been about a week between like when I told him about Legendary and then because I had found you and I joined your boot camp right away. Like the timing just lined up correctly on
It
that.
did. Yeah.
And I just told him, I'm like, babe, I'm like, I know you don't want to invest in me anymore. I'm like, I know you don't. But I was like, she is the real deal. And I was like, and I promise, like, this is the last time I'll ask you for any money. Like, after this, like, I'm going to make the money to then invest in the education that I need. Like, you're not going to have to fund anything else. And it's not like Empower was, much less than what Legendary was asking for. Um, which is nothing. Let me just tell you, like education wise, like it's worth every cent. Um, but I think he could just feel inside of me. He was like, "That's what you want?" And I was like, "That's what I want." And he was like, "Okay." He's like, "Go do it." And so I was able to buy it that night. And like, but he didn't give me any resistance, but it's because I knew, I knew that like, and I'm grateful that he stopped me
Yeah.
on Monday because I was going to be a little fish. And that's not what I need right now. And so, anyway,
I
you're the
love
real.
that. I have coach chills at 2 points in that story. Like, I love that you felt like, I was your person, and I'm glad that you trust me to be your mentor. And then I love that your husband like knew.
Yeah.
Like, even though like at first, whenever he told you no at first and you thought, ugh, really
Yeah.
it was kind of like a protection thing. So, and I bought Legendary's blueprints. I love the blueprints. And so this is definitely not, a bash in the blueprint session because I love the blueprints and I still recommend the blueprints to some people, but everybody needs different things.
Right.
And there's people that I talk to and I'm like, you absolutely 100% would benefit from Empower. And then there's other people I talk to. I talked to three of them earlier this week. Like I've had three calls this week where I'm like, listen, I'm not saying I won't let you join Empower, but you might be better suited for this. And I
Yeah.
always tell people I'm not a salesperson. Like I'm really not. And I know if I wanted to make a whole lot more money, I should be a salesperson, but my heart is in helping people. And if that means telling people something else is better for them, then that's what I'm going to do. So I just kind of wanted to make that like a thing. I just love that that's your story with that. So one of my favorite things, and I was so glad whenever you agreed to this, you just said earlier that like you do things fast, even though you might not do them right. You took immediate action. You finished Empower so fast.
Mhm.
So how did you do it? Like, what did you do? What was your motivator? Like, because I
Yeah.
would love to know because as a coach, one of the hardest things for me to get people to do is to take action. And you
Yeah.
did it. So I want to know how you did it.
Yeah. So it goes back to my husband, right? If he was going to invest in me, I had to show him that I was worth the investment.
Mhm.
And even if I had just had the money of my own type, I would have been, if I'm going to put money somewhere, I'm going, I'm not going to sit around. And I mean, keep in mind, like, I've got four kids. I get being busy. Um, I've homeschooled before. I get it. I get they're in public school now, but I still have one at home all day long. And I just make it a priority. And my 5-year-old knows. My 5-year-old knows that mommy takes an hour, maybe two, during the day, and she needs to entertain herself,
Mhm.
and I do my work. And sometimes she's right next to me. I mean, you've seen her on tons of calls, right? Like sometimes she plays with toys right next to me, and that's totally fine. And then to get through Empower as fast as I did, I made a lot of time at night. So if to know me is to know that I have watched every show on Netflix, every show on Hulu, every show on Paramount. Like I am a huge, like I'm a binger. And like as much passion as I put into a business, I put it into my shows too. And please understand, like I need that time to shut my brain off.
Yeah.
But what I do understand in business is that those shows are going to be there at the end of my course.
Mhm.
And so, like, I don't need to watch them right now. Like, I can give up a month of time, or I mean, I think I did Empower in, I think it took me 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
But it only took me 3 weeks because I was going through a ginormous family emergency at the very beginning of it. And so I was slowed down for 1 week, where but I will tell you, I sat in a hotel room and I made sure that I watched one lesson a day. And because your lessons are short, they're like 7 to 15 minutes. You can do that, right? And there were nights where, I mean, not to get like super personal, but like I would sit with one of my brothers and I would just be sobbing over the situation with the family stuff. And then I would go into my hotel room and I'd shut my door and I'd be like, hey, Annalise, you've got 7 to 15 minutes that you have to put into this business. And I would put my 7 minutes in and I would post my post on Instagram and then I would go to bed
Yeah.
and I would wake up the next day, but then when I got home and I was kind of, I had put in my time for my family, it was like, okay, I've lost time on that week, so now it's time to gain it back. And I just you have to make the time. And if I couldn't do it if I needed my Netflix time that night, then I would do it in the car while one of my kids was at their sports, right? Like my kids do jujitsu for, I don't know, an hour and a half. And instead of going inside, I'd sit in my car and I'd put on my hotspot and I'd watch an Empower lesson and I would build something out or, whatever it was. It's just like, I just stopped making excuses.
That answer is just so great. It's very similar to mine. When I started building my business, Tiger King was all the rage on Netflix. And I
I,
was like,
I have a picture I need to send you.
oh,
Let's
But
talk.
I skipped it. I still have never watched it, and I'm okay because of it. And I'm like you. Like, I'm not saying don't ever watch Netflix again, but so often, and I made this post yesterday on Facebook, something similar to it. How often are we, thinking, gosh, I need a solution. Gosh, I need a solution. For me, I'd been praying, like, God, I cannot, I have physical things and I worked in physical therapy. It's like, God, my body is not going to last till I'm 65 doing this job. Where do you want me to go? What do you provide for me? And then sometimes the answer is right in front of us, but we're not willing to accept it or to actually sacrifice to get it. And similar to you, I only had two kids. I was a working mom. And so when my daughter had a 2 hour softball practice, I sat in my car and worked. Or I got up 30 minutes earlier than the rest of my family when it was quiet and I could do it. And my my kids are older now, so it's much easier. But Trig knows, like, this summer I'll keep working and my kids will be home and you'll see them. And that's another thing that's great about it. Yeah, I mean, there's times in your business, like building a funnel, like you do need to be super focused. But like I just said on my Empower coaching call with my clients today, I'll pop my AirPods in and I'll be listening to a training while I'm folding clothes and doing dishes. Like, this is not a rigorous drive to class, sit still in a classroom type thing. And I tell people that a lot too. Like, there's parts of Empower that you absolutely need to be focused in on. But then there's some trainings, and I hope that maybe this helps you, that you're even going to want to watch 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, re-listen to them, that you can just pop your AirPods in and listen while you're going on about your life.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
your entire mindset section, that's exactly what I did. I actually popped in my AirPods. I did laundry and I reorganized my two little boys share a room and I reorganized their entire room for that entire section. And that's actually something that I really find. So depression is a huge thing in my family, and it's super easy to like be very unmotivated. And I actually find that my greatest asset is having that to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to clean my kids' room. I don't want to fold my laundry of five other people in my house. But when I have that to pop in my ear, or when I have a book, like, and I don't listen to like the love story books. Like right now, I'm listening to the Mel Robbins Let Them theory. And honestly, as soon as I pop that in, I am so motivated to get stuff done. And it has helped me not only in my business, but it's helped me in my life, in my home, in getting things done, in cooking dinner. Like, honestly, especially content creation. Like, I'll just set up my phone and I'll do my laundry and I just double dipped everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, once I understood that, I'm like, this is a no-brainer. Like, I'm not helping my business and like losing my house,
Right.
right? I am helping everybody because my cup is full.
Yes, gosh, Anna, this is so good. And you're so right. It's like, I think sometimes people overcomplicate it when it's not that complicated. Like, just make it work and just make a little bit of time. It's in, which I love Mel Robbins. I love Let Them. And what you used them was like the activation, what was it called? Activation theory or whatever. When you don't feel like doing something, you do it anyways. And after you do that, like literally, I think science says like less than a minute, you're fine. Like,
Yeah.
the bad part is dreading doing it. And if people would just do what they're putting off, it would just happen so much easier. And this still happens to me. I still have to tell myself that, but it's so true. Gosh, this is so good, Annalise. I'm having such a good
Well,
time
and
listening.
the timer trick really helps too, is like doing the dishes. Come on, I hate that so bad. It is my worst thing. So one day I decided I'm going to time how long it takes me to actually do it. And not only did I get my dishes done, but my entire kitchen clean in like literally 7 minutes.
Mhm.
I was like, why? Why do I let my head tell
Right.
me that it's so horrible? It's literally 7 minutes of my day.
Exactly. And then
And
you
now
feel better.
I put my camera up and now I have B-roll forever. So it's great.
Yay. Okay, so I could talk about that kind of stuff all day. You already know that about me. So you completed Empower, you're talking about content. I know the answer to this, but tell everyone else, like, where are you right now in your business journey? like with building your affiliate marketing business?
Yeah. So I have my systems fully automated and set up. Um, thanks to Empower. Like I got all of that done and it's all, and I'm very confident in it. I know that like that's gonna run super smoothly for me. I have two lead magnets created. Um, train and I I have two because I want to be able to give to what the person needs, right? Like, and so, and then right now I'm really focused on growing my audience on social media. And that, I tell you, that is harder than any tech thing you're ever going to do. And that takes the most resilient mind of anything. And so that's where I'm at right now, is just really trying to focus on getting that. Like I haven't made a sale. I haven't made any money. I haven't done like I don't have this great story of like I made $10,000, right? But what I do have is everything set up so that when that day comes, because I know it will come, that that like that that's going to that ball will start rolling. And I'm so grateful that when it does start rolling, I'm not going to be stressed at all
Right.
because I know that every system is in place,
Yeah.
that my email series is set up and ready to go. And if something doesn't like, if something doesn't click with that person, I can so quickly know exactly where to go, like into my email series and say, okay, what's not converting, right? And to have that is absolutely gold because um, obviously that's a lot of people are scared of the tech stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You take all the fear out of it. Like I don't know anything tech. Like, please, I have a manager for my Amazon stuff because I can't do the tech stuff. And it's kind of like what we've talked about, like a little bit like when somebody asks you to build the funnel for them, right? In the affiliate marketing world right now, there's a ton of stuff out on social media about have this 90% done for you program. You guys, that's the dumbest thing you could ever invest into. Like, I'm sorry, but like, yeah, it sounds so nice, but if you don't know how to do it, like, you're not going to be successful in the long run. Like, you might make money really fast, but
Yeah.
that money ain't going to last.
It would be like somebody telling you, I'll give you my surgical suite, I'll give you my uniforms, I'll give you all my tools. All you have to do is go perform brain surgery.
Right.
It's like, but if you don't know how to do it, you still don't know how to do
You don't
it.
know how to do it.
I love
Right.
that you just said that though. Like, yes.
Yeah, and that's not the way to go. And so I want anybody who's watching this, I want you to know that the way to go is for you to build your own system, for
And learn.
you to learn how to build the system. And because everything's going to change, right? Like so and I built in System IO because that was the first I was just going down your Empower list, right? And I because I'm a balls to the walls person, I just like built it out. I didn't even know that there were other options, Sarah. I had no
I love
idea.
it. I
I was
love
like, all of a sudden I'm like, there's like three other ways to do this. I had no idea. And just like we talked about today, like we're gonna switch over to another platform, right? And so I will do that. And I'm so grateful that I have the experience of building all those funnels and email series on System IO to then move it. Because when I move it, it's going to be so much quicker.
it.
And that's the thing that these people aren't understanding is like, if you have somebody do it for you, when everything switches, what are you going to do? Are you
Yep.
going to go invest more thousands of dollars for them to do it again? Like, that's not a great idea.
Right.
Like, learn it for yourself. And because you give a man a fish and he'll be full for a day, but teach a man how to but teach a man how to fish and he'll prosper forever.
Yeah.
So that's just the theory that I live by.
You know what that is? That's empowering.
It is. See, look at
Play
that.
on words.
That's why it works.
But I love that because I mean, it's easy for me to say that as a coach. Like, it's easy for me to say, please don't buy these done for you things that people are selling you because all they are doing is selling you. Like, they are just selling you something.
Yeah.
Like that. And so, oh, I just love that, love that, love that. So, there's so many more questions here. You answered them so well. So, I just announced my boot camp for next week. Empower is always there. I talked to somebody this morning who I think is going to join Empower tonight. So it's there.
Awesome.
You know, if anybody's interested in Empower, talking about Empower, comment Empower, I'll message you. Um, but boot camp's coming up next week. Annalise, like what would you tell people who are watching this video who are thinking, gosh, I want to learn how to make money? Like what advice would you give people?
Yeah, I would say 100% jump into the free. You can't beat free. Honestly, education is always worth it. Um, Education will never hurt. Um, and you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I think I had I think what I would say is no matter if you're a total beginner or if you're somebody who's feeling stuck or if you're successful but you need a group, a community, somebody to like help you be accountable, like you just found yourself the right place. And so surrounding yourself with the right people is going to make all the difference for you. And like, congratulations. If this is your first stop, like, you just saved so much time. And if it's not, this is your landing spot. And I have never regretted anything that I've put into this, into any of the programs, any of the boot camp or the Empower or to the weekly calls. I always come out with so much value. And I would just say, stop thinking about it and do it. That's what I would say.
I've coached like you almost made me cry just then, Annalise. Like I promise y'all, I did not. I mean, you knew what questions I was going to ask. I did not know
Yeah.
you were going to answer like that. That's thank you. I feel like I should thank you. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's you know, as a coach, I think a lot of people assume that, and some people are. I mean, there's people who just want to take your money. I'm so personally invested in all of my coaching clients. Like I literally, you can ask, you know, my friends who are coaches as well. Like we talk all the time. Like, how can we help our people get results? How can I motivate people to just get started? How can I, you know, because I can only go so far. I can only show you everything. And that's when people ask me, you know, what is Empower? I'm like, Empower is an affiliate marketing business in a box that all you have to do is unwrap it and use it. I
Yeah.
mean, because I have an Empower guarantee. I guarantee you if you buy Empower, you will have an affiliate marketing business. You'll understand it, first of all. You will
Yeah.
understand what you're doing. You
Yeah.
will have it launched and you will know how to grow it. Like you're going to know what to do. And the
Yeah.
rest is up to you. The rest is
Yeah.
up to doing it.
Yeah.
So, and I can't wait to have you back on here and tell your first success story. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Well,
It's going to
and
be,
I have to tell everybody watching, she's not blowing smoke because you're a TikTok girl.
yeah.
I chose Instagram to start with, and on one of our weekly calls, I told you, I'm like, I need help.
Mhm.
And you were the first person to say, I don't know the answer to that. And within 2 weeks, we had another coach who knows Instagram, who has helped me tremendously by just her free education. And like when Sarah says she really will invest in you, it's not blowing smoke. She absolutely will. And I have seen that and I have felt that. And I want everybody to know, I know people don't
I'm
know
getting
me super
emotional.
well. Sarah, I know people don't know me super well. I am not a fluff person. I am not a liar. I will tell you when things suck so quickly. Like I will tell you my child sucks at playing basketball. Okay. I'm the first person to admit it, and parents think I'm so terrible for that. But I want the viewers to know, like anybody who's considering this, like I'm not blowing smoke. Like this is your landing spot, and congratulations, because it's really hard to find that landing spot. So that's all I have to say. Do it.
Make me cry.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
You've made me cry a couple times, like not on camera, but doing
Yeah.
work. So
This has been so powerful. Like this has been such an amazing interview. Like I could talk to you all day. I think there's so many moms out there just like us though, Annalise. I really do. And I remember, like you said, you've always had that entrepreneur, I can't say the word now, but
entrepreneurial.
yes, thank you. So for me, I always, like I said, I never minded to work. I didn't mind that. It's just I saw all these people, and for me, it was these people going on all these trips and not worried about it or driving a $90,000 vehicle. And I'm like, how are y'all affording that? Like, what are you doing? Because I work hard. I've done everything I've been told to do. I'm a good person. Like, I
Yeah,
budget. I'm like, what are they doing? And so when I found people making, honestly, and this is just how naive I am now, I know the thought of making $10,000 a month to me when I first got started blew my mind. I
Yeah.
didn't think I could do it.
Yeah.
And my coach at the time told me, he said, Sarah, what are you going to do when you make $1,000 in a day? And I was like, come on. And he was like, oh, it'll happen. That's nothing. Oh my gosh, that's my husband. So sorry.
That's
Uh,
okay.
he's the only one who breaks through that. And then he said, well, what are you going to do whenever you make $10,000 in a day? And I said, normal people don't do that. I had my first $10,000 day before my first year.
Yeah.
And I never I don't say that to brag. If you're watching me for the very first time, please understand I don't say things like that to brag. Not at all. I say it because I thought it wasn't real.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't real. And I'm a real person, a real working mom who really learned a new skill and it really changed my life. And now I'm really helping other people change theirs too. And I cannot I my success is your success. I cannot wait to see you succeed. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to celebrate your first commission with you. I mean, I celebrated your first viral video. Like, I mean, it was
Yeah.
great.
Well,
So,
and what's so funny is you said it's one post away. Annalise, it's one post away, right? And I'll tell people the mindset of the whole social media game is really hard to get through. But what I do tell myself is what you just said. Because you've told that story a little bit before, where it's like, I know that I don't have a chance to fail right now. Because Sarah said, if I put in the work, she promises that Empower will build me an affiliate marketing business. And so even if it's not today, tomorrow could be the day.
right.
It could be. It's one post away. And like so that day I celebrated like you said you need to look for over 200 views. And I got 200 views the next day. And now I'm getting thousands of views on my videos. I'm still trying to, narrow in what else is missing for engagement purposes, but like, I mean I have a video that got 10,000 views. I have consistently 1 to 2,000 views on almost everything. So
That's amazing.
people stay tuned because
Oh,
we're
it's
I'm gonna have that $1,000 day sometime. But
you
and I want
are.
people to know it's not today, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm 2 months in, and it's okay because it will come.
Well, and you can't have your and this goes back to anything. You're never going to have your first 100 leads until you have your first. You're never going to have your first 5K views until you have your first 5 views. Like, you're never going to make your first 1K until you make your first one. Like, the
Right.
the deciding factor behind all of it is action. And there are so many people who are probably watching this and they're probably like, Sarah, you're talking right to me right now. And you've been watching other people and you've been talking about it and you've been thinking about it and you've been spending hours watching free videos and you have gotten nowhere in your business because you haven't taken action yet.
Right.
And that's the most important thing. And Annalise, that is why you're having success, is because yes, you learned, but then
Yeah.
you took action on what you learned. And
Yeah.
that is the whole thing here. And I also want to point out to you that you're not even 2 full months into this.
Mm-mm.
So you're having massive success. Okay. Like you are your success is amazing. Okay. I just want you to know that. You're not even 2 months in. And it's all because you took action. And
Yeah. And
so
it's messy action. I want people to know it doesn't have to be perfect.
no,
Like
it's
if they
really
want to
not.
see messy action, they can go check out all my stuff. It is messy and it is, like, but that's the only way that I can figure out what's working and what's not working.
Yeah,
And I welcome the haters, I'll be
might
honest.
as well. And
Like make the comment. I tell them, I thank them. I finally got my first two haters this week, and I was like, God bless you for making something, like for engaging with my post.
yeah, thank
Bless
you.
you. And please keep doing that. That's what I told them. I'm like, that you're helping me, so thank you.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm dropping so many of my coaching things I say all the time. Like I need a shirt with them all on it. But the only person who isn't making progress is the person who's not doing anything.
Yeah.
So you might have a video that is completely wrong. You did everything
I
wrong.
have a lot.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that, but at least you learn from it.
Yeah,
You knew what didn't
100%.
work, and then you can adjust, and then you can move on, and then you can adapt.
Yep.
But until you know what works and doesn't work, and it's funny, you asked me one time about hooks. I'll never forget
Yeah.
this. You're like, are these 5 hooks okay? I was like, yeah, try them. And then I think like 2 hours later, you're like, okay, are these 5 hooks better? And I was like, I don't know. Have you tried them? You were like, I'm sure you were like, ugh.
I just tried them. That's what I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remembered you saying you can join Empower if you're going to take the action. Because I
Yeah.
can't coach people who don't take action.
Not. I can't help you. And some of my Empower coaching clients might be looking at this right now and thinking, I wish I was having that success. Well, then take action. You know what to do. It's all right there. It's literally at your fingertips.
Yes.
Take action. So, okay, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah. Go
Um,
take action.
yeah. And if any of y'all want to talk about Empower, comment Empower, I'll message you. If there's questions for Annalise, leave them in the comments. I will tag Annalise in this video so she'll be able to see them. I don't want to say, I don't want to say she has to answer them, but
I will answer
I
them.
feel like she will answer them. I know she's got a helper's heart like I do. So, Annalise, I'm going to let you end this for us. You have anything else you want to say before we end this interview?
I just hopefully am saying welcome to the community, to all of you who are watching, because like I've said before, I'm going to say it one more time. You found your place in the internet space, and I am just so excited you found Sarah, and I encourage you to take action and uh, let everybody know that you're here so we can welcome you.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. See you later, everybody. Bye.